Hong Kong is hosting the equestrian events for this summer's Beijing Olympics. While athletes in Beijing are concerned about pollution, the horses down in Hong Kong have another problem: sweltering heat. The mean maximum temperature in August reaches 88 degrees, and horses feel the heat more than humans because they're so big.
The ability to cool down is related to the surface area. And a horse, because it's that much bigger, has a greater volume to surface area than a human does. So proportionally for their size, a human has a greater exposed skin to be able to sweat.
Hong Kong spent $150 million on new and refurbished facilities, including air-conditioned stables. It plans to hold competitions in the morning and at night, and even developed misting tents to cool the horses after they compete. Misting tents are turbo fans that spit out sprinkles of icy cold water. With the chief veterinarian, I took the misting tents for a spin.
What makes these alike or different from the ones that are used in like NFL, American football games to cool down players and fans?
Well, they'd use fairly similar sort of arrangement. These don't rely on a small nozzle with a high pressure pump to produce a very, very fine jet of water. They rely on a spinning disc to throw the water droplets out into the airstream that's coming from the fan, but a similar sort of concept. The main way for cooling the horse is to put large volumes of chilled water onto it. So these really are to make everyone feel comfortable and a bit more relaxed. They're not the primary mechanism for cooling the horse.
Why not just big baths?
Well, it's a good idea, but the horses might drown in them, or someone else might drown trying to look after them.
Right.
But indeed, yeah, full body immersion is something that is advocated. It's controversial, but some people advocate that for humans to cool them off. And as you might appreciate, full body immersion of a horse would be a dangerous thing to do.
So cooling a horse and cooling a human is not that different?
Correct.
All right. I'm really wet now, so I'm going to step out of the fan.
Inside his clinic, Dr. Riggs explained a few additional things they're doing to keep the horses happy.
We do have to rehydrate the horses as well, and we expect to give very large volumes of intravenous fluids to a lot of these horses. So they will be getting water and electrolytes by mouth, some by stomach tube, and a lot by intravenous drip.
In just the 11 minutes it takes to compete in the cross-country event, a horse can lose 20 to 25 liters of sweat. The U.S. Olympic dressage team doses out Gatorade for horses, an electrolyte supplement given orally in paste or put into food to replenish sodium and chloride lost during sweating. Another concern with coming to Hong Kong to compete: jet lag.
We don't notice them being that much more difficult to wake up in the morning, or reluctant to eat their carrots, or anything like that, that one would associate with being the wrong time of day to eat a carrot. But it may happen indeed, but they seem to cope with it much better than the grooms attached to them very often.
Concerns about the heat and transportation caused the Swiss dressage team to drop out of this summer's games entirely.
One of the key riders from the Swiss dressage team said that she felt uncomfortable bringing her horse to the climatic conditions in Hong Kong. We feel that her concerns were probably slightly out of context for what we have set up and the facilities that are available. When people have come here and looked at the facilities and seen the plans that we've got in place, most of them go away feeling fairly reassured.
You've heard it from the horse's mouth.
For the Wall Street Journal, this is Geoffrey Fowler inside a giant misting tent for horses.